Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun, so what are we doing tonight? Well, tonight we're going to be doing some more translation. Emo-Klore, Japanese tabletop role-playing web game, role RPG, web RPG, is that what we would call them? But yes, we're going to be doing some more translating of this mess. I did do a little bit of translation work for it, just getting one or two bits set up for it. Now, you may be wondering, Notepad, why are you so late? And the answer is, it was cold, I wasn't feeling well, and I laid it down for a minute. And that minute turned into like an hour and a half. So, yeah, welcome to Notepad's daily life. But, we're gonna be translating tonight. Emo-Klore. Now, we didn't translate this last week because I was too busy working on Metal Saviors, which we made a lot of progress on, in fact, and a lot of that progress has been quickly redirected into me cringing about weight numbers now. It's great. But, yes, this is Emo-Klore, which, for some people, it may say, what the fuck is Emo-Klore about? And the answer is, it's kind of like budget Call of Cthulhu. If by budget Call of Cthulhu, I mean more that in the vein of McDonald's Cthulhu. You may be wondering, Notepad, that makes no sense. Why would anyone want to play this? And the answer is, I don't know, but it is popular in the Japanosphere, the Nihon sphere, you could say. So I feel compelled to go over it. Yeah. If you have any questions about the game, feel free to ask me about them, because I am probably one of 10 people who probably know about this game and give a shit about this game. In English, anyway. But yes. I don't respond right away to things. Kind of understand I have like 4 sets of windows open just to keep track of everything. So it's great. But yes, pretty much what I ended up doing is this section, which was the resonance emotion section. And then we immediately went on to the role-playing section, because there's the dedicated role-playing section of how to role-play, everybody. Yeah. God bless him. Japan, this is very common in Japan, by the way. Some people here in the US of A might think, hey, that's a little bit weird. Why would we ever want to do that? I mean, isn't role-playing half the fun? The answer is, well, yeah, it is half the fun. However, as one person did say in one of the other servers I'm in, one of the JTRPG servers, is the Japanese do love formality. They like not necessarily being told how to do things, they like being told how to do things correctly, however. If it's not correct, is it really worth doing? It's a very common thing in Japan. And especially when it comes to games like these, they have a kind of an odd time of, I wouldn't necessarily say it holding your hand, but they do have a time of talking things out a little bit graphically, if that makes sense. Nothing is ever just a simple, here's the answer, here's what we're going to be doing it. Other times, they want to have like a very strong sense of like, this is how we're supposed to do things. Because if I'm looking at this correctly, these are literally quotes from individual characters and how to roleplay correctly. And roleplaying correctly is important. I do know it was Sang actually in the server. Sang has actually talked about this quite a bit. But yeah, no, Sang has talked about this. Where in one of the books, they have an entire dedicated section about proper seating. Now, you might be thinking, is this proper seating has a purpose? Is it like a very structured game, like the warrior has to be the warrior, the mage? No. They just want to make sure that you're sat correctly to make sure that the GM has the best ability to project their voice out. which is one of those things where it's a little bit ridiculous if you think about it, but it's also one of those things where it's like, oh, how do I want to... You also have to remember that a vast majority of tabletop role-playing games are not seen as... how do I want to word it? Veteran, like a veteran hobby, if that makes sense. It's very few games in Japan have the basic idea of this is your first, like, this isn't your first rodeo, you wouldn't be here if it was, get the fuck out. Like, many games in Japan are actually like, we are going to assume this is your very first game. We're going to assume that it's not only your first game, this is the first time you've ever encountered the concept of role-playing games before. We're also going to make sure that you've possibly never encountered the nature of pretend before. Which is why I usually cite JTRPGs to be really damn good when it comes to introducing people to role-playing in general, to just this disgusting, awful, terrible hobby we have. That's why I usually like to cite them a lot, because they are very good in actually giving you a structure to people who may not be comfortable with... giving structure to people who may not be comfortable with things without that structure. And oftentimes I notice it for... like, then you get things like Ryutama, for example. Ryutama is very friendly. It's a very friendly game, but that entire game is actually built on the idea that you're going to be playing it effectively in a cafe. So it's kind of like that. Huh, that's kind of interesting. Like, it's... if you go under the ideas like that, everything kind of adds up a little bit more. Yeah, this is... God bless the Japanese. As a side question to the topic, is it safe to assume any American RPG player has played at least 5 years of the Dragon game, or is it a better idea to go in depth with the basics? Depending on what you would consider to be deviant from the Dragon game, and any basic expectations, it's usually a good idea to talk about. If you are playing a game like OSR, for example, like a lot of OSR games quite literally open up with, you probably know what tabletop role-playing games is, and they just move on, because you should already know. If you found something called like the Goblin Hack or whatever, you probably already know what OSR is. If you're doing something a little bit more esoteric, a little bit stranger, it does help to be like, here are some basics, here are some ideas, if only to get people into your headspace a little bit more. Being like, yes, role-playing games are about being a social activity between all the friends where you all get together and tell a magical story with one another. It's very different between tabletop role-playing. It would be different from saying tabletop role-playing games are a group activity where we roll dice and we kill shit together. Ooh, Min. Have Min Minstrel, and we don't. We can't comment on best practices anymore. Yeah. They don't pretend you just found it in a book. Yeah, there's a lot of that in the US, where it's like, let's not beat around the bush here at all. You're not here because of just some random chance. You're here because you know what the fuck you're on about. Or you downloaded the wrong book and you shouldn't be playing that. You shouldn't be looking at this. Also, if anybody would like the links to this, just tell me. I'll post the links. That's fine. I'll post a link in chat. Let's see. It is recommended for people who play together to discuss one. The rest of the role plays. Resonator. I should check Resonator. Resonator perform some action, a judgment. Maybe it succeed or fail. This is what happens as a result of the action and so on. I'm going to be keeping judgment for this game as well because I like the term judgment in this context because it does make a little bit of sense of what you're doing. I could probably just call it to check or something and it would be just as fine, but I'm a sucker for thematics. Okay, now we hit the video section. Yes, there is the video section. We're gonna have to open up Sakura real fast. Luckily, I haven't really had to do a lot of, like, double-checking kanji or anything like that in this particular game. It's just been a lot of, like, well, just gotta double-check, just gotta double-check, just gotta double-check this. Because it's been a fairly simplistic game in that regard. Like, this game is not super complex. And in case you're wondering, no, I'm not going to translate. I'm not going to, like, translate the fucking video they have. While that would be funny, I'm not going to do that because I'm not a masochist. Judgments, double check here. Also, determining success. Judgment is the process of determining success or failure of a character's action of a resonators. It's not the correct one. Resonator actions results. Emo-Klore, the Emo-Klore. Emo-Klore TRPG. Let me just double check to make sure. Yeah, Emo-Klore TRPG. And in case you don't know, everybody, Emo-Klore. Emo-Klore, everybody, is the combination of emotional and folklore. Get it? Because Emo-Klore. I will never let that game live it down. Just because that is so ridiculous. I'm not a masochist, says the man who tried to fix Shadowrun once. Yes, yes, we don't talk about Shadowrun again. I don't want to talk about Shadowrun again. What's this? It's like explanatory video of the judgment. Yep, of skill assessments. This is an explanatory video. Hey everybody. The explanatory video. I'm gonna translate it because it's here. This explanatory of skill assessments. We're going to you invert you right one. We're gonna go here though. We're going to select the Courier Prime. I am not going to translate. I'm not going to translate the 3 minute and 50-second video about how to explain dice checks. No. So, moving gracefully on from that, I'm assuming this is me making a brave assumption that they're going to explain. Okay, they are going to at least explain it here. Because I would be like, that would be ridiculous if they wanted to explain it. That would be goofy. That would be asinine, even. If they're like, oh, of course not. We're not going to, tell anybody how to actually do the checks, and we're just going to make them watch a fucking informative video. Which, mind you, I would not put past the Japanese to do. The skill is used to make a judgment. Use your skills to make. Use your skills to make judgments. Roll a 10-sided die. That doesn't... Swing the same number of 10-sided... Okay. Roll a number of 10-sided dice equal to the skill level you are using. Normal. Roll a number of 10-sided equal to the skills level using the kit. When we start the compiling process, it's going to be me having to cut things like that because that drives me up a fucking wall. Technically, if we want to do this accurate, if we want to do this right, we're going to have to do it this method. Looks like I can get away with it. Can I just save this? Yes, I can. And we're going to go to Emo-Klore. I said Emo-Klore. Emo-Klore. Dice 0, 1. We're going to go to we're going to go over here, Yandex, OCR. I'm going to be perfectly blunt with everybody here. I don't think this is going to be a very long stream, simply because I got other shit I got to do tonight, like laundry. And it's going to say Chinese. No, it did not. Yeah. Don't know what I expected. I honestly can tell you I don't know what I expected. But I also completely know. Wait, no, but... Yes, I did. I did attempt it. It became anthrodesis dissonance, which, if you ever want to know why anthrodesis dissonance sounds always looked and felt a little bit awkward, it's quite literally because it was supposed to be a different game. Okay, let's do... Select you here. We're going to here. If you don't know what I'm doing right now, I am in paint.net, making everything pretty nice. So we're going to that. Do we have... No, we have... Why not have... I do not have droid, because I'm a dumb fucking idiot. We have droid sets. I guess we'll use... And never done. So, we'll use that. We'll open you up. 26. Example. Because we love examples. That's we down to 60 because big fucking thing. Damn it! There we go. There, I'll fold you up. Because if I fold you, you're a little big. Oh no! Change it to fucking bright blue, which is going to be two 10-sided dice, 2 pieces. There we go. This is the rough of it. I'm going to do Dice. Dice 01, EN. Which luckily, I'm going to probably try to use as much as I can here. Keeping it consistent. There we go. This is literally all it says, by the way. This is it. It doesn't say anything more exciting than just, hey, you'll roll a number of d10s equal to the skill ranking you have. Do you do anything else? No, that's it. This is legitimately all you do. You just roll. Roll that. That too complicated for you? If it is, maybe this isn't the game for you. And we get to have my favorite part, otherwise known as this. There's a side note telling us of course there's telling us. Of course there. That would be absolutely insane of me to think that there isn't going to be a side note which says, hey, there's a hey everybody, don't forget. We want the it's the Japanese X with dots. I believe this is the way they do. Where is this? It's the weird fucking brackets they have, because they have this obsession with fucking brackets. Which, by the way, there we go. This isn't. It's literally just an asterisk mark. Which, by the way, McDrusel, I will say, if you do not have the correct Japanese symbols in the game, I'm going to feel very disappointed. It's going to be a 0 out of 10 game for me. So, watch yourself and understand what you're doing. I will be judging you. We do that. Oh, Jesus. Select all you. Okay, we do here, we do here. We don't need the break DL. We don't need that. That's never been a thing we need. Oh. Yes, consult my footnote, my my freakishly massive fucking footnote in this game, which is a very common thing for some reason. I don't know why the footnotes are massive in this game. They just are, okay? They just are huge. Kurumicha. Gagumi. Gugumi-chan. Gugumi. Yagami. Yagami. I've been looking at magical girl stuff all fucking day today. My brain has been fried because of it. You know, it's like, oh boy, magical girls, and then you quickly realize, no, and fuck, magical girls, and you're like, wow, I can't believe Ewan Clooney made me hate magical girls. It's very much an accomplishment. I did not. Oh, it's all the weird phonetic alphabets they have. Not even phonetic alphabet. It's they have a lot of symbols for things and like the different fucking brackets. You can't download them like that necessarily. What they are, they're literally alt codes. They're Japanese alt codes that you would need I believe it's like the Japanese version of the fucking OS to do properly. There's a way you can set things weird. It's dumb. Let's see, Peanut Wing. Any plans for World Without Number, Stars Without Number video? They're also making Cities Without Number, cyberpunk take on the system. Make goo in a case. Goo. Oh, God. Let's see. Here we go. In the wild blue yonder, off with one terrible roll. Notation of a dice roll. Notation of a dice roll. Very important, everybody. We don't have the correct notation of our dice rolls. Are we living in sin if we do not have the correct notation? Let's do, since we just, there's been a lot of fucking tables in this one. Not quite as bad as Muvlub yet, but it's getting up there with just the pure amount of just random, like, oh, gotta remember the table. Oh, gotta remember the table. Oh, gotta remember the tables. It's like, okie dokie then. We're done with the tables now. Yes? No? Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Da 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 da. Why do I know the Doki Doki Literature Club? Yeah. Dice face. The number. Don't worry, everybody. It's telling us how to properly read the dice face. Be calm, Notepad. Notepad, they do not know. They do not understand. Lord have mercy. They do not understand. Okay, now back to the trend. I will never get over the fact of like how sometimes of just how overtly friendly Japanese games can get. And that's usually like my one big thing I always have to tell people about Japanese RPGs is that they are extremely friendly. I always regret checking Matt Colville's Twitter if his poster believe he's using cardboard damage counters, minis, dice, and playing cards to resolve combat. Yes! He's doing it. Yeah, it's because we're Notepad After Dark, everybody. I could talk about whatever the hell I feel like. We've entered the phase of people now not quite understanding what anybody wants. Where everybody's looking at each other being like, well, my thing is going to have cardboard damage counters, the minis and dice and playing cards, where you gotta have to remember all of those are going to rely either on A, you buying everything, or you using a VTT. Which I can rest assured Matt Colville will partner with the VTT to make sure that his game is on there, or just him. Probably. How dare they try to teach players how to play games? Everyone knows everyone is born with innate TTS knowledge. Yeah, of course. It's the thing. What's going on right now is that everybody is now trying to jockey for position, and some people are like, "Well, we're going to do our own unique thing," and other people are like, "I want to make 4E again." And like, the thing with Matt Colville is that he's not a stupid man. He may look like a gigantic goober, but he is not a dumb man. And I think he's going to probably try to get into that market, because I think he understands he's going to have to make his own thing rather than having to rely on the backs of somebody else, because he doesn't want to be making Kobold Press products, obviously, because they're going to be his main competition all of a sudden. Because you got to remember, everyone deciding to make their own new D&D game is now... All of these guys are working together now, but in next year, they're going to be all competitors. All of them are going to be now competing against one another for clicks, for views, for everything. And every single one of them is going to be wanting to get a little bit of a leg up on somebody else, and... It reminds, it's that fucking XYCD comic where it's like, we should create one universal standard for everybody. And then there were 15. Except now it's, instead of there being one dominant game, now there's going to be like 6 non-dominant ones. All of them competing for their own audience. Which is going to get a lot worse before it gets a lot better. It's great. Wait, I forgot to include the D3. The power of the power of the D3. At least it's not a D5, because D5s are funny, and I do enjoy myself some D5s. Lo-fi beats. Lo-fi D5. Why did you bold? Why? Why are you the way you are? Oh. Gee. Technically, I should be checking with all of these to make sure that everyone knows what I'm using. Double check, do not hesitate, double check, because we're cool. I believe we just... that was the big thing up there. Alright, so explanatory video, we do all that. Next we go immediately. Okie dokie. Success dice and number of successes. Alright, alright. Heading would be heading 2. Yes, this would be heading 2. Okay, so we're a success. I'm seeing a success system now. Okay, so it isn't just a D. Alright. Alright. We're like, it is actually now shaping up to be a success-based system. Alright. Okay. Now, mind you, I did not know what this game was going to be going into it. That's a... you gotta remember that. I had no indication. All I knew that it used D10s. So, yeah. So we're going to do this so that all should go together. Side note is going to go right here. Put that right there. Which we're all going to be using the Droid Seraph. Not Droid Seraph, Droid Sans. Droid Sans Undertale. That's hip with the kids still, right? Is Undertale still cool? Like, is that like still a thing that people are like, oh my god, it's Undertale, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread? I don't see many Undertale things anymore. If anytime I do see an Undertale anything, it's usually a shitpost. And usually it's involving somebody getting screwed by the skeleton. Like, is Undertale popular still? I don't know. Even after they make their D&Ds, most will fade into oblivion by 2024. I don't know. It really depends on how... to give you an idea, the bag has been thrown back into Wizards' hands, and the thing is, Wizards has decided that the best course of action with the bag in their hand was to piss their pants in front of everybody and then start crying. Especially with that D&D Beyond thing, that was just a bad call on everybody's part. Who knows what the fuck happened there. Pool of Emo-Klorans rolling in the deep. See, the interesting thing, you know, because for those who don't know, there was another leak. It was the D&D. Let me see, D&D Beyond. Yeah, there was There was this. This came out that people were kind of fascinated by. It's kind of hard to see it here, but apparently this was an internal discussion where the two tiers of D&D Beyond was going to be a free tier and effectively a $30 tier. Which I find fascinating. Because if you want to make this more of a fascinating adventure, and there's some, it's one of those weird things because you see in some of their like, oh, you can't use homebrew, you can't use, this, you can only have a certain number of. No, if we kind of, let's see, kind of hard. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, right here. It's kind of hard to see. But it was like, oh, unlimited cans, all available dice, all available backdrop frames, all these shit. This was going to be like the thing. This leak by the twist basically confirmed that the leak was accidentally real. Yeah. Here's the thing. D&D Beyond, I think D&D Beyond now. Let's check the sinking ship, everybody. Has never been easier. I want to sign up for free. Let's sign. I don't want to sign in with Google or Apple, really. Yeah, D&D lost over 40k subscribers. Let's do. What's the subscriptions? These are the current two major subscriptions. You can either pay $3 or you can pay $6 a month, which is pretty. Not bad, generally speaking. Here would be my thinking. If you really want to maximize shit, what you would do is you can probably jack up the hero cost up a little bit, give people a lot more stuff to play around with. You can probably do a 5-10, probably do it pretty reliably, and people would be okay with it. Because generally speaking, you're going to get like a vast majority of people are going to be in the free category. They're going to be playing just for their friends. They're going to have like, I'll give them a limited number of character slots. You can get publicly shared homebrew content, early access to new tools. You're not getting any of that really. You can play in campaigns, you can make things very simple, though only limited amount of things. However, this is where things start getting interesting. The hero tier, give them all the tools they need. You have the master tier for the game master, make it about $10, because what's going to happen there is Game Master is going to be paying $10 now, and he can probably get a buck or two from all his players, but for the advantage of using magical VTT, using everything that they like, it's great. Then you could justify like a $20 tier, maybe. My thinking would be either use the $20 tier as a kind of an in-betweener of having a lot more stuff to play around with, and for people who are like paid GMs, like this is their job. For some reason, that they are professional GMs, and so they just use your service a little bit more aggressively. That's what it would be effectively. Also notice Pipkin Pip over there. But yeah, this is the amusing thing, and you do know the leak was fake, but in a twist, which is Ghost employee effectively confirmed the leak was accidentally real. That I'm not surprised about. Like, I don't know why people are really surprised about that. Because what that's going to be. Like, here's the thing when it comes to, like, homebrew stuff. A vast majority of people, aren't going to use those tools at all. Let's be perfectly frank. Let's be honest with each other here. Let's have an open dialogue. Let's heal. Nobody won. The community won, but so did we, everybody. That is going to go down as like one of the best lines in fucking history. It's the people using GM, not even necessarily GM. The people using homebrew are the people who are using homebrew, and it's only going to be for GMs, really. out of like the entire pool of GMs, which we've already cut the population down to about, let's be conservative and say 1/10 of the size. Probably of that final 1/10, 1/10 of them are going to be using homebrew relatively consistently. So that's not really a factor. Could they probably get some money out of them? Yeah, because it's for those people you're going to rank up a little bit more. Or you start implementing some awkwardly priced things. Make sure that everybody wants to buy up tiers, because just for convenience's sake. Hey, you want to unlock your homebrew slots? That'll be $2.99. Hey, you want to unlock character slots? That'll be $1.99. Hey, everybody, you want to unlock some fancy dice or whatever to make sure that looks like that's going to be another $1.99. Recurrent spending environments. Always remember that. Because you have to remember, the vast majority of things that they're referencing, let's say the battle, like a standard battle pass, for example. Every time you see one of these major battle passes in video games or whatever, what they do is they give you the battle pass and say, well, you can grind it out. Like, you can buy the battle pass and get both things, but you're also always going to have the free tier. Everything you're always going to get. But here's the secret. Here's the nasty secret. You use the free tier to get people in. You then let them buy the advanced tier with all the fun stuff, but you always are having a limited amount of time, and because you already spent money on that, you don't want to waste it, so you're going to probably spend more money to get more things going, so you get more That's effectively, I think, what they're going to be attempting to do anyway, is you're already paying $10 a month for this. You're going to probably, and you still want to use your homebrew, so you're going to be more encouraged to pay $15 a month for it. Because if you pay $15 a month, you get all your homebrew stuff, and it's just a convenience fee, effectively. Because Hasbro wants that arena market, and they want whales. Because I don't think people quite understand, of those 40,000 people who leave, how many were paying? One. Let's see, that equates to Zam. 5e didn't let me do this. Yeah, there are a lot of people trying out new things. And that was, I don't think Wizards' gamble paid off as well as they were hoping for. But I've also seen a lot of people say, there was one which is like, I don't understand, Pathfinder 2e is too complicated and I don't like it. Is there something simpler? Like, oh, well, this isn't like D&D and I don't like it. This isn't like D&D and I don't like it. It's people are adopting new things, but I think there's a lot of people who are also... Yeah, I think a lot of people were like, we just want to use Pathfinder now. And trust me, Paizo also wants you to buy Pathfinder books, because Paizo wants their fucking money. Paizo doesn't give a shit. They just want their fucking money. Oh no, something outside my comfort zone. It's... How do I want to word this? Luca had a good point about this. It's people are going to want to play the thing that they already know. And the problem is the OSR guys... See, this leads to a bump in the OSR community. That's... The OSR community is currently, funny you mentioned that, has been on fucking fire. Because of this. For more than a few reasons. Because you get people like... Raggy, for example. Raggy's gonna kill himself one of these days, I think. And I do mean this not in like a... Kill yourself now! No, I mean this at like... They're gonna find he, like, ate a bunch of Xanax or something. Like, it's not gonna be pretty, whatever happens. And I'm not memeing like that. But, like... What happened is you have these old guard OSR guys, these really old guard, who were like, we don't like the 5e people, so we want to do our own thing and play our own way. And then you have the new OSR, you have the new SR people, who are like, oh, well, we want to do our own thing now, which is kind of divorced from that old way. And then you have like the 05R people, who are like in the middle, like, the OSR community is growing, but it is heavily fracturing now. There are different groups, different communities now. And let's just say the lines are being drawn. you know, you are not part of me if you are this. You are not part of this if you are not this. And it's, people are getting a little bit... TOC is their biggest product. Let's be honest with ourselves here, McDrew. That's why they're doing. Kill yourself now! No. Yeah, it's kind of sad in its own way. That, ironically, Wizards has gotten people to play new things, but they have, in the process, probably have fractured the community. The community, I hate that word, the tabletop playing community. It's the video game community. But they have distinctly fractured certain groups. And of those groups, people are getting more, you know, angry at one another. You know, the industry has now, lines are being drawn in the sand. And you're either going to be, say, like, you're either going to be with us or you're going to be against us in some cases. And the problem is, it's going to be, like, bigger groups. It's going to be, like, bigger... the thing is, it's not going to be me growing. It's not going to be fucking Gilla growing. I can tell you that much. It's not going to be Gilla growing. It's going to be Matt Colville. It's going to be Kobold Press's little... Because Kobold Press doesn't want you buying whatever the fuck Colville's putting out. That's the entire idea. They do not want you buying that. Why would they? He's now a competitor. And Paizo doesn't want you buying Matt Colville stuff. They don't want you buying Kobold Press stuff. They are competitors now. And we're effectively going to get like the most bizarre edition war possible. Because there's going to hit a point, probably in about 2024, like mid to late 2024, where you're going to have Kobold Press's Black Flag. You're going to get whatever the fuck Colville's putting out. You're going to be getting one D&D, because one D&D is still happening. That's not like it's going to die on its face. No. And you're also going to get all these different games competing against one another, but it's not going to be... I don't want to... Maybe have a bunch of fuckers fighting for number 2 than feeding D&D's glut. Yeah, but it's one of those things where... How do I want to... They shouldn't be aiming for number 2. They should be aiming for number 1, but nobody wants anybody else to get number 1. And nobody else wants to... Everybody wants the crown. Nobody wants anyone else to get the crown, so it's a crab bucket, effectively. You are not allowed to... Yeah, it's a crab bucket. You are not allowed to go up higher until I get higher. But then I'm going to get dragged down, so I want to drag other people down. And the thing is, here's the beautiful thing. D&D 1, if they go through with it, mind you, as written effectively, what's going to happen is... it's going to come out, and people are going to be like, I don't want it, like, everything is bad, and everything sucks. I'm just going to play the big thing now. Because it's not like Wizards isn't going to have something. Because, again, you got to remember, there are still going to be people who are sworn to the 5e stuff. There's still going to be people there, and then you're going to start a prisoner dilemma. Do I work for the Wizards? Because if I work for the Dragon game... I'm going to be able to get a bunch of people already on board, and because it's a reliable thing. Or do I pledge myself to Kobold Press's Black Flag? If Black Flag fails, I'm fucked. And it's not like they're going to be generating millions of dollars of sales. So it's like, okay, so but if we all work together on Kobold's thing, they're going to become bigger. But what if this guy wants to work on Matt Colville's game? But what if this guy wants to work on this game? 3 people haven't made any money, 1 person has, so everyone's going to be like, well, we also going to just make D&D stuff. I know one guy was proposing, like, oh, well, we should just make all adventure paths and stuff more system agnostic. Like, instead of, like, a lizard man, like, you just do, like, basic combat abilities and stuff, just to make sure people understand of, like, what's this, and, you are now encouraged... Like, you are now encouraged to just write out whatever it is depending on your system of choice. And I'm like, that ain't gonna happen. You fuckers know this. That ain't gonna happen. Because what's gonna happen there is people are gonna have, like, Colville's thing is gonna be completely different than, say, Hobo Press's thing. And they're not gonna be compatible. Second edition Paizo is, like, Pathfinder is gonna be completely fucking different from them, everything else. It's all a mess. All we are is energy. All we are. All we are is energy. I won't give anyone an award, but if you know what that's from, I feel sorry for you. I should know. Da 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 da. Why are you? Da dum da dum da dum. What? In God's holy light. This isn't a... This is a D10 success system, but it's roll under. It's a roll under system. It's a roll under system. All right. Okie dokie then. Why is it a roll under system? I am, it's a D10 roll under system. Oh. Oh, that's... Oh. Oh wow, this is a new one. All right, that's Glorious Niffin Gaming. What in God's name? Yeah, okay, all right. You know what? I came in here not quite understanding what I was getting myself into. Again, like, to me, like, the most logical case, you know, the most logical thing would be, okay, D10 with a success number. Like, you have to hit 5 or higher. Maybe like a variable success number. Like, sometimes it'll be 3, sometimes it'll be 5, sometimes it'll be like 7. All right, understandable. It's the same idea as that. It's just roll under. This is a new one. All right, cool, cool. This is fine. This is Nihon Gaming, everybody. Nihon Gaming. God, I love it. Yeah, all right. Okay. All right, gamers. We re-gaming. Mhm. Yeah, that's... Yeah. Like, I have no words, really, for this. I really have legitimately not a single word. I'm more just mystified. Like, truth be told, I am mystified by this, but I'm also, you know what? I'm in. Let's do it. Let's we're gaming, I guess. We here, number of successes, do successes. Yeah, I'm gonna yeah, this is a new one, everybody. Truth be told, I was not prepared for. I wasn't prepared for this. I'm not gonna lie. I came in here and I ended off being flummoxed. I am flummoxed by this. Congratulations, Japan. You've done it again. They can't keep getting away with it. No, dumb. Yeah, they can't keep getting away with it. Like, I'm dead. I'm a dead man. Like, that is fucking hilarious. I wasn't prepared for that. Truth be told, I wasn't really prepared for it. But here we are. Like, here, this is it. This is it. Do not go quietly. You're gonna this D10. This is used multiple times. That's the. Is that it? No, that. Because this is. Actually, I wonder. Yeah, okay. We can do some trickery if you know. So let's see. We want to do D10. Actually, no. It would be all the way to D10, 10, and then goes all the way down. All right. So this would be the. But that's where that's supposed to go. If we use this, each skill's decision value. Let's just each skill's decision value. The roll. Each skill has a decision value. The roll a roll of a D10 with less than or equal to the decision value is called a successful. In this case, skill with a decision value of 3. The roll is 1 to 3. It is a success die. Our success die is called a number of successes. So it is legitimately a roll under. Yeah, it is a roll under D10 system. All right. Okay. You know what? Fine. Fine. Number of successes. Final judgment result by the final results determined by the number of successes. You know what? This is fine. You can't back down at this point. Yeah, no, it's like I'm too far in. Like I wasn't ready for it, but here we are. Has God abandoned us? No, I don't know yet, but see, this is the part that I'm a little bit. It's a decision value. I wonder if they're gonna. I'm gonna put a note there for myself in case later on they explain it differently. Because right here, so you would be put right there. So D10 less than or equal to the decision value is called the success roll. So they actually have a thing here. We're gonna put a footnote here. I'm going to select the footnote. I'm gonna put you right here. It should read 10 for the payout. The payout. That's a very weird way of wording that. It's a very peculiar way of wording that particular thing, the payout, especially when you consider that the GM is referred to as the dealer in this game. Like, that's a fairly important concept, is the dealer. Like, you are, I wonder if they're going down, like, a gambling route, like it's supposed to be, like, gambling? I mean, okay. Alright, so this is going to be probably critical. That would be my guess, is that this is the critical system. Because if I'm going to select you... Technically what I should do is you, go here, go here, go here, go here, select you, do that. Go that, because this is a 1. Because 1 is the lowest possible result you can have. Crit. I'm literally gonna call it crit JP, just to make sure. So let's put crit JP in here. What's it say? Critical. Yeah, it is. Number of successes plus 1. So it counts as 2 successes. That would be my explanation. That this is now, that this is the critical dice. And because it's the critical dice, it counts as 2 successes, scoring it. So you can still technically... So this would be... We follow the same... Number of successes 1. And again, if I'm to be a betting man, and I do like taking my bets, this one's going to... I go here, I go here. Now crit dice JP, we do save as crit dice EN. I'm going to put the crit dice EN right here because it's going to be the number of successes plus 1. It lacks a little bit of the color, but it works for our purposes. So we're going to select you. Critical die. I'm assuming it itself. This is going to be the no one critical die. Yeah, this is the hey, you do it does count as 2 successes technically. It is interesting they are referring to the dice in various notes. Because the thing is, they're not referring to. Oh god, these look janky. The fuck? You know what? We're new plan. We're doing something a little bit more aggressive. We're gonna do this. Let's put you Control C. We're gonna put you there. And we're gonna we're gonna hit that. We're gonna put you there. Move text. We're select you. Do that. That. Select all of you. We do table properties. We remove the table entirely. There we are. Looks nice, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing down below, and I'm going to say this is probably going to be like a crit fail dice or something. I'm going to make a wild deduction here because I've made a fundamental error in my life. There we go. Make a wild deduction in my life because, again, I like taking bets. I'm a gambling man at heart. Because remembering you cannot actually indent anything in error die. Error die. This is what this one's called. Error die. Successes are reduced by 1 for each error roll. That's pretty fucking brutal, actually. We do this. Error die JP. Then we're going to do this again, just to make sure, just to make it look proper. This is going to Not that. This, do you. Do you. And if it's following the same thing, if it's following the same format, what it's going to be is error die. It's going to be error dice. Because interestingly enough, if I'm making a random call here, like the dice are more important than strictly like the result, if that makes sense. Like, it's kind of hard to word, but like, yeah, it's like the fact that they're referring to things as like the error die, it's not the, the error dice or whatever. No, it's like it is the error die. It is like a very specific entity and that you should be concerned about because you rolled a 0 on the error die. That sounds a little bit ridiculous, but bear with me. So if we do that, everything should look good there. Do have... Okay, that, we go here. Value is greater than equal to 1 in most cases. The first. Yeah. This is effectively saying if I'm doing... Wait a second. Yeah. This is effectively stating, like, hey, like, as long as it's not, like, a very specific kind of fuck-up, you should be fine. This is count of 2, which we're going to insert footnote. Do here, do here, do here, do here. Down here, go bump, bump. And we're going to here, which is then we're going to check this location, go, ooh. Sure. Check you. So yeah, this is effectively stating that if the success value is like 1 or 10, then this is not going to count as a failure. If it's not, if success is 10, you can't error out and just fail miserably. Like, that's not fair. So we're changing that to make sure that they're literally giving people a minor out in case some insane situation occurs, that they have a way to effectively mitigate the numbers. That's legitimately all this is. Good call. Good call, game designers. You're making good decisions. You still have a D10 roll under system, though. I'm not going to get over that, by the way, guys. I'm going to be perfectly frank with you here. By the way, is Forbidden Lands any good? There's a Humble Bundle sale going at 18 for all things. I have one friend who he loves Forbidden Lands. So I've heard only good things of Forbidden Lands. Let's just say that. Personally, never read it or gone over it or anything like that. Just didn't really jump out at me as something I was looking for. Oh, gee. People are posting cringe, but so am I. All right. Cool. Let's do this. Let's become Emo-Klore's strongest soldier. Let's see. Judgment result. Wait a second. Wait a fucking second. Judgment result. Number 6 determine. So it's a set value? Yeah, so that would be a set value. So the idea is you're rolling a number depending on the number of successes you get. This is just what you'd end up with. Is there a set value, I wonder? There's a set value. I wonder what it is. Color me intrigued. Color me intrigued. Okay, so we do that. We're gonna have to use old reliable. We love tables. Deblioso. Debliosos. I believe. This is interesting that it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 to 9, and then 10 up. Like, those are the numbers. What are those fucking numbers? Like, why is it like such a precise value? Okay, so we're going to start from the top. Number of successes minus fumble. Fatal failure. A fatal failure. Serious mistake. Receive some kind of penalty. Fatal failure. That sounds like a bad fucking Fatal Frame reference. I'm kind of in though. Failure. Success is 0. If you just get a 0, you just suck. There's gonna be successes. You only need a single success to be victorious, though. Only a single one. What the fuck do the rest of these? Double effective success. Oh god. This is Wuso's game. This is a Wuso game. Oh no. Extreme success. Triple. Masterclass. No more results. 4 to 9. Miraculous success. Because yeah, I guess since you're only going to be... Here's the thing. You're only going to have a skill of like up to 3. So 3 successes would be all your dice roll 3 successes. Everything above that would be... And assuming that you don't roll a 1, because that's only a 1 in 10 chance to get +1 success. If you only have a skill of 2 in something, at most, you will roll a 4. You will roll 4 successes at most, and that's a legitimately a 1% chance that you will roll that. You have a 1% chance. Anything higher than that, those numbers are getting real low. Like if you have 3 dice, in theory, which mind you would be 1 in 1,000, mind you, you would roll a 1, a 1, a 1, and that would be 6 successes. That's all you would end up getting. Like, that's a lot. Like, okay, what the fuck is 10? What the fuck is 10 then? Success from 10. Catastrophe. Disaster class success. I mean, I'm in. I don't know about you guys. I'm completely in. I am completely invested in disaster class successes. I'm assuming that only the oddities can actually score that. Like, the oddities would be the only one physically able to do something like that. Because even if you are, like, maxed out, you can only get to a 6, and that's still 4 out, mind you. 4. Like, you have a very... I wouldn't say you don't have, like, a high chance of success. Like, relatively speaking, depending on the action, you could have a decent chance. Basically, if the number of actions positive, the resignator's action. Okay, easy enough to understand. Not exactly what we would like to call the most complicated thing in the world. It's... I'm still mystified about this fucking game. I'm invested now. I gotta learn more. Oh my. Oh my. Peter, I need help. Challenging, more difficult at triple, sometimes even more successes may be required. Then why'd even give me the option? Then don't give me the option, game. Don't say, like, all you need is 1. However, you may need more depending on how I'm feeling. I mean, you're like, no, game. That's not how any of this works. I will say this is going to be an interesting detox, though. I mean, like, yeah, this is the game. It's a D10 roll under system, the first of its kind. See, I don't even know. I don't even know if I can accurately say the first of its kind. I've never seen a game like this before. I've never seen a D10 roll under system, roll under success in a dice bot format. Yeah. I'm gonna put this in here for completeness' sake, but yeah, that's kind of... Yeah, so they want you to use the dice bot really hard. I am noticing that a little bit. They really want you to use dice bot, which I understand. If you, they might have, honestly, they might have a deal with CC Folia. Like that might be a thing. They might have a deal with them, like, hey, we custom built you a thing. Number of dice, decision value, the parry function. We're not really, like, this isn't, I'm gonna put a note here, actually. Note, footnote, this is going to be in Career Prime. This is for... There we go. The success loops back into being a bad thing. Not necessarily even like a bad thing. It's just bizarre because it's like, yeah, D10 roll under. You're like when you say D10 roll under, I'm gonna make a wild bet that a vast majority of people are thinking, oh, percentile system. And I would think that, you would think that, everybody would think that. And it's not like it doesn't work. It's the same idea. It's just like, huh? Bet they don't have much contacts from overseas. Yeah, it's perfectly, again, it's one of those things where it's perfectly valid. It's just so bizarre because I've just never seen something like this. Because again, you got to remember, a vast majority of the games that come out of Japan are unironically just 2d6 games, which a lot of the ones we've gone over have been just 2d6 games. The fact that this is a D10 dice pool rollover thing is like, oh, that's kind of funky. so this is the game section. Let me just make sure I'm doing it. Player section. Let me see this. Dealer section. Oh wow. Okie dokie. Let's just do a quick rundown of what we got. Oh, we got the cards, everybody. Have no fear, we've got the cards. Yay! And then this final section down here. What is this? Acknowledgements? Quick starts. Yeah, so this is technically the final section that we need to go over. Like, this is it. Like, after this section, it's technically translated. But I'm curious now. Because these are the character sheets, that's the VTT, that's the dice bots. So this is, yeah, these would be the character sheets. And where the fuck do you... Are these just like an independent thing? These aren't even on any sheet. These aren't on anything. Why are you here? Why are you a separate thing? You're just a separate page entirely. What? Nani? I don't understand. Very unofficial DUWANG. Yeah, I don't think this one's going to be very long, just because it doesn't really need to be very long. I am going to... I'm going to put this... And there's some pieces that I'm not fully putting together, which I might need the... Yeah, so there's some that are like higher levels and stuff. Others aren't, because you don't have that many skill levels. But you only have a certain number of skills. Like, these are all the capabilities. And since those are all the capabilities, it requires your skills. Your skills are going to be a completely different thing, aren't they? Yeah, because if we go here, go to the character thing, we go to player section, we go to this, it brings us to a new sheet, which are all the fucking skills. So it's because of how the website is organized. Because this is how the website is organized, it's a little bit funky. So I mean, I guess we put down in appendix to a... Here's what we'll do. We're going to put down a thing here where I'm going to call, I'm going to say the player appendix. I'm going to say the player section appendix. Player section appendix. I'm going to put a footnote in here. The Emo-Klore TRPG website splits the skills and resonant emotions into separate web pages. I'll make sure link everything together. That's what we're going to convert it into. This is going to be its own web page effect. Like, these are going to be its own little like section. It's not going to be in this, but this is like, we need to talk about this here, because if we do this, fascinating. Gonna be the Emo-Klore. Emo-Klore. Do you want to be emos with me? Because you know Jesus was an emo. If you've never seen Emo the Musical, understand that Emo the Musical is true art. It's just a true masterclass of cinema that's hard to really outdo. Emo-Klore, TRP. Please refer to the player section of the type of skills, how to use them. You prepare your own original skills, suit the scenario setting, blah blah. Yeah, there we go. I'm not about that too much. These are skills in the Emo-Klore. Then this would have to be everything is going to have to get heading down by literally one section, and it's going to look really fucking weird at some points, but that's a compromise I'm willing to make sure that this actually flows. Because you gotta remember, this isn't a book, this is a web page that has just been converted into a book. Because I hate life. Yeah, no. Here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do you. We're going to do investigative skills. Okay. I see the emojis, everybody. I see the emojis. Emoji movie. So I'm just gonna do like how many skills are in investigation. There's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6 skills in investigation. So we're just gonna do investigation. We're just gonna go over it. We're gonna learn about them, and then we're going to just make sure that they are sane and rational and make sense, because I have a strange and beautiful feeling that it's going to be completely fucking insane, and it's going to make me want to commit Sudoku. You want to commit Sudoku with me? Let's do, actually, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put you on your own page. You on your own page. These aren't going to look very well. when I actually like compile this, it's going to be a very fascinating adventure. Trying to make everything flow nicely together, just because looks like there's so much per each of these. Unless I reduce them down in size, maybe. Yeah, do I compromise? Let's do that. We'll just have to make sure to remember that they're going to have to be reduced down in size. Okay, so yeah, it works. It's just weird. What's Nani? Nani? Okay, so moment of truth. We're going to select this one. I believe this is a critical skill we get. Research base skills. So it is a base skill. Searching for clues and organizing handy information. Searching for clues and organizing handy information can be used for all investigative judgments. Wait a second. Its judgment skill is. This is insight. Yeah, this is insight. Perceiving the truth from clues. Judgment value. Organize and understand maps. Oh my god, guys, it's map gamer hours. Intuition on... Unlike, also, it does not make information more accurate due to the amount of information already obtained. So... I don't know why I keep saying Claire. Appraisal. We select all of you, and we 8. These ones are going to be really jank, because I just want to get them on paper more than anything. Just want to get them down. But this is telling me a lot, actually. This is telling me a lot. Because what this is telling me, this is the important thing. You kind of see this right here. What this is effectively saying is... break you down. The judgment value. Our judgment value is going to be our int plus skill level. So, since we know that, let's say our skill level is 1 and our int is 5. So if our int is, let's say, 4, and then we have, plus 1 skill level, that means we have a judgment value of 5. We need to roll 5 or under on all of our things. That's why it's really difficult to get anything higher, because your skill levels aren't going to effectively allow you to do that. Alright, this is easy enough to do. Okay. There's just a lot of it. It is interesting with the base skills, though, because this is just a judgment value of your dexterity, so it's naturally going to be lower than most things. Whereas you GURPS where you had to pay for an ability with XP if you wanted to use a calculator at the table. Like, I get where this game is going. I understand what it wants to do. Because what it's effectively saying is... increase your skills, work together, roll under whatever your effectively it's roll under whatever the value of the skill is. Of skill plus attribute. That's all it is. It's a roll under skill plus attribute system. They just word it in the most bizarre way possible. And normally you would think like, oh, it would be like a roll under, like it would be normally a roll over system for something like this. But that's not the case. And the way they're doing it is actually very smart. Because they damn well know. This is actually a fairly... it's weird, but I understand the logic of it now because of this. I get what it's trying to do. Even if I do have to, quite literally, rely on fucking emojis to interpret everything. And yes, in the compilation, we're going to keep the emojis. Okay. I'm going to call it there for today, though, because I said I wasn't going to stream for very long. But we kind of know what we have to do next time, which is we're gonna compile all the skills, and I'm seeing sub-clauses for skills. Oh boy, gamers! Oh boy, I love sub-clauses! But yeah, probably next time is we're going to work on this and the resonant emotion system, probably followed by then working on the GM section. I think the GM section is going to be the next big hurdle. That's going to just be grinding it out. That's going to be like... If I'm kind of estimating the raw size of... the raw girth of the GM section, it's not going to be terribly long. It's just going to be a lot of these little side notes, because we're even seeing here. Like, we are currently at, in this document, 62 footnotes. There are 62 footnotes in this game. And there will only be more, by the way. By the end, I'm suspecting we will hit easily over I'd say 120. Just kind of even like just doing cursory glances. There's tips upon tips. Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not feeling too... I don't think it's going to be difficult. I think it's just going to be a lot of like double checking and rechecking things. And once this is done, I think we're just done. Like this is literally the last stretch. So, all right, I'm feeling pretty good. I will probably say we won't be doing this on Thursday. And I'm saying we won't be doing this on Thursday for two very distinctive reasons. The first reason is that's the Fire Emblem video, and I have a feeling that's going to take me all day. Usually design thunk videos take me a while to do anyway we look at it, and we've got a lot of other things to do this week, so probably we'll probably be caught back up next week. I might do some of this off camera just because I find it cathartic. So we'll call it there. Godspeed, good luck. Hopefully you all have a wonderful rest of your time. Hot Japanese tips in your area. Does it have a guide on proper wrist motion when rolling dice? Not yet. I'm waiting for it. But yeah, Godspeed, good luck. You know the rest. Video will be out tomorrow about magical girls, and let's see, Gachi Muchi Super Smashers Prelim tomorrow. So yeah, I think I have the system for that, by the way.